Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're digging into something a little different, a list of 30 hopes for the future. It's from this one writer who decided to take all those things we worry about and flip them into a kind of roadmap for a world we'd actually want to live in. The author, a guy named Clemens, calls himself this, an optimistic worrier. And you know what? That's the perfect way to think about this list. These aren't predictions, right? He's not trying to be a fortune teller. It's more like an exercise, taking that anxiety we all feel about what's coming and turning it into something we can actually aim for.
And that's really the big idea here. What if the very things that keep you up at night, what if those are actually the problems we're most motivated to solve? It's a powerful thought. Okay, let's dive in and see what he's come up with.
All right, first up, our digital future. From data hacks to digital ownership. This first batch of hopes really gets into our complicated relationship with tech, doesn't it? The whole idea is to rethink our digital world, making it way more intuitive, way more secure, and just better integrated into our actual lives.
So, check out some of these hopes for our digital lives. First, imagine AI where what you say is what you get. Literally, you just narrate what you want and boom, the AI creates it. No code, no complex software. He also talks about VR finally breaking out of just gaming and becoming this truly immersive thing we use every day. And of course, level 5 self-driving cars, turning them into assets that can work for us. The big picture here isn't just about cool gadgets, It's about making powerful technology accessible to everyone. But, and this is a big but, with all this tech comes that one huge worry. Who's in charge of all our data?
And that leads to this next big hope, decentralized identity, or DID. Think about it this way. Right now, dozens of companies hold your personal data. With DID, you hold it. It's in your own secure digital wallet, and you just grant access when you need to. That's a massive power shift, right? It puts you back in the driver's seat of your own digital life. Now, the author admits this is a tough one. It means we'd have to completely undo the whole data mining business model of big tech. So yeah, not easy.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Section 2 is all about reimagining health and wellness for our bodies and our minds. So we're going from the digital world to the really, really personal stuff, our health.
And the hopes here are all over the map, in a good way. On the one hand, you've got these massive medical breakthroughs, like using mRNA tech to actually prevent diseases like cancer before they even start. Imagine that. But then you have hopes that are about simplifying our lives to cut down on mental drain, things like getting your meds delivered in one simple subscription bundle. And, my personal favorite, finally getting rid of spam calls for good. Who wouldn't want that?
Now, here's a big worry that's fueling one of these hopes. The author calls it the TikTokization of everything. And you know exactly what he means, right? Our attention spans are just shrinking. The whole media world is built around these super short, super fast bits of content, and it's getting harder and harder to just sit down and focus.
But here's where that optimistic worrier thing comes back in. He shares this little story. I met a babysitter who didn't use her phone at all because she said her parents were always on it. And wow, that just perfectly captures the hope, doesn't it? The idea that maybe the next generation sees this problem so clearly that they're the ones who will consciously decide to push back against it.
All right, on to our next section, building a fairer world. This is where we tackle the really big systemic challenges. We're moving from our own personal well-being to the health of our whole society, looking at some of those hard problems that just feel impossible sometimes. So let's talk education. The author throws out this one number that just stops you in your tracks. $80,000, 80 grand for one semester of college. It's insane. And his hope is that we can build a totally new system, one that doesn't force young people into what he calls economic slavery right out of the gate.
Another huge one is prison reform. The hope here is to shift away from the system we have in the US, which is mostly about punishment and costs a fortune, and move towards something more like the Scandinavian model. A system that actually focuses on education and rehabilitation so people come out with skills instead of just coming out. And the list goes on with some other really big hopes for a fairer world. Things like gig economy workers getting unionized with livable wages, less of the crazy partisan politics that divides everyone, reducing military spending, and getting universal free internet for all. These are definitely the ambitious ones, right? They touch on everything from jobs to politics to national priorities.
Okay, so we've gone through tech, health, and society. And to wrap it all up, the author has one last, kind of meta hope, the one that really holds all the others together.
He says, hope is as powerful as love.
Let's work on hard problems together. And that's really the key takeaway. The specific list of 30 things, that's not what's most important. The real power is in the act of hoping itself. It's about taking our fears and reframing them as a collective to-do list, a list of hard problems we can decide to work on together.
So that's his list. But it leaves us with this question, doesn't it? The author listed his hopes. What's one of yours? It's a really powerful way to look ahead. Instead of just getting stuck worrying about what might go wrong, we can turn those anxieties into aspirations. We can start building a roadmap for all the things that could, actually go right.